Relationship with Hoppage is over. Welcome my new friend, Aver Media. Extreme Gamer 2, welcome back to Odin Sphere after a month of just nothing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that capture card is gone and over with, because man, I've wasted so much time in editing this LP that I just want to claw my eyes out. Okay, now let me actually remember what we're doing in the game. Oh yeah, this is just after we did the job for Odin, and we basically got Gwendolyn's payment, and the little bunny maid is not too pleased with that.
No.
Amusingly enough, this is the shortest, like, pre-narrative thing, because all you gotta do is talk to her.
Yeah.
That's not all we gotta do. It's been a month, I need to see some delicious food.
Welcome! What can I get?
What can you get me? Well, considering I have a lot of money,
Ooh, steak tartare.
give me a bunch of steak.
Hell yeah. Pureed steak with an egg on top.
I've never had this before, but that just doesn't sound appealing at all.
My family for Christmas eats raw beef on like rye bread slices and everything. I assume, from what I understand, tartare is roughly that. Maybe a little bit of cooked, but
Just raw beef. No.
I'm not a fan of it. Personally, I don't like the way it smells.
I'd imagine they'd have to do some form of preparation to it, like they would do with sushi.
There's some salt.
Yeah, of course. That would do it. Basically brine it.
Not even that. Just take it from the package, put it on a little platter, get the rye bread, slices, and you take a knife, put on the rye, a little bit of salt, maybe some onion, in the mouth.
I don't understand fine dining.
I mean, it's hardly fine when my family does it, but
I do gotta admit, Odin Sphere makes this game make all foods look good.
yeah.
I think the funniest one is, like, I think a day or two ago when we were just dicking around in a Discord, you were posting really good-looking food with guns. And one of them,
just lots of handguns and assault rifles next to it.
and one of them looked exactly like a pork chop you'd see in Odin Sphere, so I was like, holy shit, that looks great.
Yeah.
Also, I hope you're ready for the most filler episode in Odin Sphere ever.
Yep.
She won't wake up. No matter how long you stare at her.
I like to watch.
No. It must be the spell.
Yes, but if you kiss...
Oh?
Like,
So
this moment
that's
right here
what
makes
they
you think, oh shit,
Please.
Oswald's an asshole.
You mustn't. Princess Gwendolyn disobeyed the king's orders in order to save someone very important to us. Thus, she was punished, regardless of her own mind. Her fate is to fall in love with a total stranger.
We've met before, though.
But
Yeah, she tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is.
you won't kiss her?
So, the thing about
Didn't you
Oswald's
come to take
story,
Princess
it's a
Gwendolyn away?
mess in terms of pacing. It goes
I would
everywhere.
like her to love
But
me,
is a really good episode of character development because
not in this
slowly but surely you realize how human Oswald is.
objects.
Yes.
Also that weird spotlight segment, what?
Still, it breaks my heart to see her like this.
Like, it's almost surprising how human
must
someone called the Dark
find
Knight or
another
the
way
Reaper's
to break
Blade
Odin's
is.
spell.
Yeah.
You are too...
Then this happens.
Looks like I'm not too late. Move, coward!
Oh no.
This to me speaks of, like, rocks fall, everyone dies in a D&D game. Just suddenly out of nowhere, a wizard appears and kidnaps the princess. What?
And he just gently floats away.
Bye-bye. I wonder how many people that are familiar with Odin Sphere saw that there and thought, oh no, I know what's gonna happen. Because, as much as I enjoy Titania, this is probably Oswald's worst chapter.
Probably.
There's a lot wrong with it. It really doesn't feel cohesive with the story. Because, did the wizard say that he's going to Titania?
No. I mean, that's where he operates out of, but no. And it seems really weird that you're just running around killing, like, the city guard.
Yeah, there's a lot. Also, I just ate an onion. What? Delicious! I love
Delicious
tears.
onion.
See, I can understand the town guard wanting to do this, because a dude in black-clad armor, a really lethal-looking sword, and the evilest face you've ever seen in your life strolls in, pissed. You gotta do something.
Fair.
But Oswald not, you know, taking the time to say, like, hey, some wizard kidnapped my not-girlfriend, I need to stop them. Actually, that might make it actually worse.
Yeah. So I do think they imply that the wizards take control of the city at this point.
Yeah, this is about the time the wizards are strong-arming the king of Titania so they can make this place their playground.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a lot of political corruption that you don't typically see in this game because it all kind of happens in the background. Which is, you know...
I mean, in all the other... I mean, in more of the other kingdoms, they're a bit more powerful in terms of their rulers. Like, no one's gonna fuck with Odin. And no one fucked with, I'm blanking on her name. The fairy queen. Mercedes' mother.
Yeah, I don't know her name either. Alfaria.
Yeah, Alfaria. No one fucked with her except for Odin. Whereas the king of Titania is just this small, frail old man.
I believe they actually elaborated on how he got in that position in
yeah, they
Cornelius'
do.
story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting thing too. It's a good parallel. Like, you have Odin, king of demons, a big, powerful, like almost, you know, gladiatorial-esque humanoid. Then you have the Queen of the Fairies, this very sculpture-esque, beautiful-looking woman who rules with like empathy and charm. Then you have the King of the Humans, who's just kind of a guy.
Yeah. So, like, his father went evil or something, and his brother was like, screw you, I don't wanna, you know, be the ruler if I can't marry this one girl I love, and so he runs off, and...
Yeah, basically just to recap, because we heard this all in Cornelius' story, the current king of Titania had to kill his father, I want to say?
Yep.
In order to prevent him from using the power of the Titanian royal family to butcher everything ever.
Yeah.
Then before that, his own brother said, "Well, I love this woman, and father won't let me marry him. I'm just gonna forfeit my rights to the royal heritage and leave."
Yeah.
So that's why the current king of Titania is as such. I don't even think he wanted to do that, but he just kind of wound up in the role.
Yeah. I think that he references at some point that his brother would have been a better ruler. It's just that, well, his father forbade him from being the next in line because he wanted to marry someone that was not of royal blood.
Yep. Back on gameplay, though, the bosses we're going to fight on the stage itself are probably the hardest I've had with the stage. Not because this boss is hard, no, by no means, he's really a chump, but the goblins that appear. For whatever reason, the town guard is working with goblins to stop Oswald? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's really weird because they don't have a story reason for why they would be here.
Not at all, especially since the goblins work for King Valentine, not for King of Titania.
Yeah.
It really is a shame that Oswald's story, in so many ways, is kind of a mess, because he's probably one of the best characters.
Yeah. He's there to fill in the plot, unfortunately. At least they had the good sense to give him good mechanics.
Yeah, he's one of the best characters to play, and he's got really good character development.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Gwendolyn kind of learns the lesson that she's meant to learn. Cornelius is a very likable character by default, so you can't hate him. Oswald is someone that you just see bits and pieces of throughout their other stories, but then you finally get to play as him and you realize, wow, this is a really good character.
Yeah.
Now,
I do also like the next character.
well, yeah, because she's the plot.
Yeah.
Now, for
She's
this,
very much plot.
now for those of you with sharp eyes, you may have noticed that during this fight, I took a lot of hits that did 0 damage. Oswald has a skill that I think is called Indomitable or something, where he could just decide to not take damage, and that helps a fair bit.
Yeah.
Because stacked with the shield ring, that gets kind of busted. But I did take 1 hit there for like 90 damage. I'm honestly surprised I didn't die. Also, here's how you know I have no idea how to play the game anymore. This is really wasteful. Because the Wild Rose Meal... Yeah, the Wild Rose Meal does 22 Phozons at this point. And each of those does 11, and we only need 30 to get sheep. So whatever. Let me just absorb...
Delicious sheep.
Let me just absorb the soul of 2 plants into my blade. It's fine. At this point, I was like, wait a minute, can I do anything with my stuff? We got this last chapter, and I was like, yeah, whatever, let's upgrade it. I don't care.
I'll try it.
Something is going to happen later in the update that is really weird, and quite frankly, I don't remember it happening before, and I don't know why it's happening now, because this should not be happening. But,
Yeah.
but Phantom Killer, quite frankly, breaks. Can't afford anything.
Always good when that happens.
I'm sitting there trying to remember what it is. What is it? Oh yeah, it's the parry. Oswald has a parry.
Hell yeah.
And it would be good if it functioned properly, but it doesn't.
Hey, you don't look so
Well, I
good.
am dying because of a curse within my sword that I owe my soul to the queen of, you know,
I'll
the
give you a
dead.
discount.
But thanks
Yep.
for the discount, buddy.
Roast and lamb, hell yeah.
I know this rabbit that would really appreciate that you're actually next to his restaurant. I feel like you guys might have a racket going on. What is this? You like split the difference? By the way, roasted lamb is the thing we were talking about.
Yep.
Where I'm gonna splice this in the video somewhere, but there's just an image of a really beautiful looking pork chop next to an to like an M16.
Just cover the video for a little bit. Let everyone see the beautiful meal.
It'll probably be picture in picture because I don't like doing full portraits.
Fair.
I also don't know how to grow apples.
It's a learning process.
I only need about like 4. I need like 4 cups of Souls of the Damned. Just kind of all right. Delicious.
Grows
apple.
really fast that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's like fertilizer on crack.
Exactly.
Also, for what I need some mulberries, which is something you rarely use.
Yeah.
I kind of like that they make all the early game stuff still relevant. That way, you never feel like, why the fuck do I have 7 mulberry seeds in my inventory?
Yes, you can get some sweet cooking.
Oh, hey there, buddy. I was, trying to get a mandragora, but hey, I'm feeling hungry.
Woot.
Welcome to Maury's Touring Restaurant. I thought it. Huh? A new.
Seeing this again is just reminding me how I can't wait for Ages 13.
They released a trailer for that, and it's an interesting concept, but they haven't shown any gameplay.
Yeah.
And I
think
can't
there's like
really
a
be
small
excited.
bit of gameplay in the trailer. But
No, I think I know what you're
I
talking
am
about.
still curious about it.
It's certainly interesting because it looks like it's going to have 13 protagonists. Or maybe there's
Yeah.
like 13 pilots for the Aegis. I don't know, but it's an interesting thing too because it revives an old bit of like I don't know if it's like promotional art or concept art that
Very well.
that
Leave
the
it to me.
Vanillaware guys did in somewhere around 2010, I want to say, where it's specifically promotional art of like 3 schoolgirls each like showing off a tattoo they have, and they have like a mech design behind them. The fact that they revived that old concept blew my mind, because I thought that was just, I thought that was just some dumb stuff that George Kamitani drew. I didn't think it was going to be an actual video game.
Well, I mean, they first announced it, what, in 15? And so it's been a long time coming.
Was Aegis 13 announced in 2015?
I think one of its, like, first trailers was in 15, like at a game show in Japan.
I know it was, like, heavily advertised next to Odin Sphere's remake, which is why it's so relevant here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just waiting for gameplay, honestly. Maybe they're gonna do something different, or maybe it's just gonna be a mech beat 'em up. Either way, it looks good. I'm just kind of like, eh. They've also announced Dragon's Crown for the PS4, which, okay. It's not the PC,
Oh, they
though.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna have to get that.
It's got a promo box, too. Like, you could get a lot of cool stuff with it. And Vanillaware's promo boxes are fucking dope.
Thank you very
I
much.
still need to find the shirt that's like bottle plus habanero equals potion, because that thing's so neat. That was a nice dinner of, 4 pork chops. Pretty sure you're not... I can't fathom eating that much food. Like, Oswald ate 4 pork chops and 2 churros. That's insane.
He's a growing boy.
I mean, I guess being the swordsman of the eternally damned is hunger-inducing.
Yeah.
There's something weird about this game where it's got noise pollution when you do shit like that, but it's a very satisfying kind of pollution.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, yeah, suffer. Well, maybe not like that, but you know what I mean. It's a very cathartic thing to hear 12 guardsmen all chant in unison
their pain. You're kicking ass, and thus you're enjoying yourself.
That's really why Oswald is just such a fun character, because it's an empowering experience. Especially after Mercedes' chapter. Holy crap.
She doesn't create nearly as much noise pollution.
Every time I record one of these episodes, the phone has to ring.
Yeah. I'm just glad that the dog isn't barking today.
It's so weird that all of the key searching was regaled to Oswald's chapter. It's just something that kind of stands out. You know what else stands out?
These eyeballs.
Well, they don't stand, but Oswald really sucks at air combat.
Yeah.
Like, I completely forgot how bad this was until doing this chapter.
Yeah, I don't like these guys. I find them really annoying. I know that there's one fight where there's just so many of them that someone gets stun locked by their little energy bolts.
Yeah, imagine trying to do that in heroic mode where you die in one shot and they do 300 damage.
A dreadful time. But hey, if I was on prison.
It's funny that I'm bringing this up mainly because I was watching this LP while I was, chilling at home. But I remember watching Chip Cheesum's Wonderful 101 LP, and he mentions a very specific enemy that's just a little tiny dude that walks around and just shoots lasers randomly. And that dude is the worst for S ranks because they could just arbitrarily hit you and there's no audio cue for it. And in a way, this enemy kind of does that too. There's an audio cue, but it's something that you really wouldn't, like, parse initially.
It's so anemic of a sound that it doesn't sound like a threat.
Yeah, it's just like, beep. And then you get hit with a projectile that does not a lot of damage normally, but it also stuns. I think it's the only stun projectile in the game.
And like I said, there's at least one fight where there's a whole bunch of them, so you're just... You have to focus them down and just avoid their blasts and hope that you can kill them.
Yeah, luckily, they die in one hit if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hell yeah, a large bag.
I think the interesting thing is that they showed a highlight for the commemorative coin that dropped. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, look at this. You found ancient currency.
Ooh.
Time to buy a burger with it. Yeah, this secret, I think it's kind of clever. I like this secret a lot. Because specifically it says, have a dwarf pass underneath the waterway. So it makes you think, did Odin get here? What is this?
Yeah.
Do I gotta follow a dwarf? Crits are so good in this game.
Yes.
I think I mentioned it in another update that wasn't Oswald's story, but stats are relevant in this game, and apparently Dex affects your crit chance. And later on in this game, you get rings that give you like an effect and also say 5 or plus 10 to a stat. So that really does matter.
I figured that they meant something, I just didn't know when I was playing this.
It's just so very vague and behind the scenes that you don't even notice.
Yeah.
Like, the RPG elements in this game are very much a term that I don't know where it came from, but I like saying the term. It's called numberwang. All it is, all the RPG system is just numbers behind the scene. That's it. Any actual impactful things will be done by the player, which is good. You kind of want that in a beat 'em up.
I mean, I think the term is from an old, what's it called? Web and...
An old what?
It's a British, like, comedy show, Web and... Or someone in Web.
Got me.
I can't remember its name. I'm gonna...
Yeah, I'm totally lost. I don't know British humor. I don't know culture. I do gotta say, Titania is fun to go through just because you can destroy all these barrels and get rewards.
Mitchell and Webb. That's it. Mitchell and Webb. They have a series of sketches where there's this, like, quiz game show kind of thing called Numberwang, and there seems to be no internal logic to it because people are just, like, randomly shouting numbers and the host occasionally going, "That's Numberwang."
Oh yeah, I actually have heard that specific phrase, but I never knew what it was in reference to.
It's hard to explain, but yeah. Ah, mulberries.
Mm-hmm. It is nice that the numbers in the back don't affect anything substantial, because...
Yeah.
I love this series to death. I enjoy anyone who... enjoy people that showed it to me and LP it well. But man, the Yeast series is just so up its own ass with numbers. Like, if you are one level behind on normal mode, it will take you triple the time to beat a boss.
Yep.
It's fucking baffling.
I am impressed when, like you said, people play it well and everything. Like, I got friends who really like it, and it's amazing when they've, like, played it, and it's like, wow, you actually understand this.
The thing about it, though, is, like, the guy I like to watch, Toddy, he plays the games really well. And I was just like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And then when I'm watching the LP, it's just like, I had to grind for a while to do this. I'm like, oh, no. Because... You look at Yeast, and it's got relatively good gameplay. It's a good mix of RPG and beat 'em up elements. There are patterns, you can avoid them. They're difficult, but they're not hard, and you can understand them. However, if you are, as I mentioned before, if you are one level below, it will take you triple the time to do it because monsters just have a boatload of defense that you can't punch through. So you'll be spending way more time dodging these elements and making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, in Odin Sphere, it doesn't really feel like that's the case.
Yeah.
Because they're using Muramasa engines. Muramasa's engine favored, you know, quick on-the-fly movements way more than, you know, strategic elements. The original Odin Sphere, they wanted you to use potions and spells more rather than just, you know, do sick combos.
Mm-hmm.
Which in a way was still a better system, but man, I'm just like, ugh. It's part of the reason why I stopped playing Ys Origin Untold, because I was like, well, I beat Hugo and I beat Unica on normal mode. Maybe I should go do the hardest difficulty with Tull.
Ooh.
That was a fucking mistake. Do not play Ys on the hardest difficulty. It is such a stupid idea.